Hi, Tashi Delek. Okay,
Greetings.
ni hao.
Ni hao.
You know, I
Greetings
still
from-
want to say namaste, you know.
Yeah, me too. Greetings from Lhasa, Tibet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we are still at Lhasa here. Just trying to test sound first, okay? Just those of you who so happen, today's Wednesday, okay? Just remember, okay? Alright, today's Wednesday. If you so happen to actually, in a way, stumble upon this impromptu Facebook Live, okay, do let us know, okay, whether you can hear us, right? Because we are at a tea place here, okay, at the center of the old town of Lhasa, okay, right in front of Jokang Temple. And it's actually environment outside is very, very noisy. Okay, we just want to make sure and ensure that it's like you can hear us. Okay, so just in case those of you, if you're tuning in right now, okay, do let us know if you can hear us clearly as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Let us know because I know we're in the same time zone now, so it's dinner time in KL and Singapore and Malaysia.
Yeah, and then most probably some of you might be stuck in the jam. I wonder what's the weather like, okay, back in like KL and PJ.
Yeah.
Right, I hope it's not as crazy as like, you know, when we left, it's almost like thunderstorm every evening, okay, and like fallen trees. Jackson, right?
Speaking of weather, so it's been interesting and a little bit challenging actually for all of us in Tibet, right, in Lhasa ever since we got here a few days ago. Even more so than compared to all throughout Nepal, including of course when we went up to Reki Mutina as well.
Yeah.
But I feel that the weather here, even though it's so like amazing because it's a whole city up here as Lhasa, big city, and we're in a very popular tea bar chain of China here, but yet we are feeling the high altitude, right, effects, and then also of course the dehydration from the altitude, and then also the generally dry air.
Yeah, I think we also hear from Joseph and see what Joseph have to share with everyone.
Yeah, like what they shared before also, at any moment also we feel that like we are okay, we have no much of altitude sickness and all, then you go to sleep looking at this like nothing has happened, but suddenly when you wake up you started to feel some headache a bit, and then when we check on the oximeter we can also see that there are moments that our oxygen level is considered low and so on.
Yeah.
But we are still feel very much blessed, you know, that we are able to go through this journey together on this beautiful place, and being blessed to continue on with this journey.
Yeah, and this is, as we mentioned, this is a very impromptu session, okay? We didn't preempt anyone, so we wasn't really expecting you to be here with us, all right? But in case later on, if you can, just listen to the replay itself, right? First of all, of course, I also want to... First of all, I also want to share about mainly also is like the blessings of the amulet, okay, at the Rinpoche temple, which I have actually shared as a post before this, right? So I just want to tell all the invitees of the amulets itself that we have actually brought your amulets thanks to Gong Yu. Gong Yu normally have to carry all the amulets, okay, like all 300 pieces of the amulets itself, right, and walk all the way in this thin air of Lhasa early in the morning.
No worries. The
Without
amulets,
breakfast?
These bunch of amulets are quite light, so it's okay.
Yeah, because the singing bowls are not out yet.
Singing bowls, on the other hand, metal Himalayan singing bowls, different thing altogether. Those are not light.
Yeah, okay, but we manage it as I explained in the post itself. Yesterday we were brought to this Rinpoche temple, and once we go to the temple, there's a big sign saying that 今日閉寺, it says like the temple is closed today, okay? But fortunately, somehow, okay, we were allowed enter. And I remember the moment that we walked near to the door itself, right? The whole big door, instead of the small door, it just flung open. I was like, wow, okay, they opened the big door for us instead of the small door, right? And only that I realized that once we walked inside, right, okay, as I shared in the photos, that this small boy, okay, somehow I don't know why he even opened the door in the first place, okay, because he couldn't see us from inside, okay, so he opened it for us already. Once we entered, he's struggling, okay, to close the door back, right? Because he actually struggled to close the door back, and like at that moment we were very blessed, and we have almost the whole entire temple to ourselves, okay. And I was asking, of course, some like private pujas and stuff like that, and of course eventually the monk told us that tomorrow morning they will have like pujas, all right. So but at the end, the guide then told us that the pujas are for locals. Okay, so that's why we also asked, okay, whether we can be, in a way, participating in the pujas or not. Okay, and eventually, of course, long story short, they allowed us to go. That's why this morning, Gong Yu brought all the 300 amulets, okay, to the puja itself. It was wonderful, and we see that actually there was a very, very long queue of all the locals bringing offerings, okay, to it's a Shakyamuni, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, so in a way, it's like all of them are really like queuing, okay? A very long queue is like, in a way, giving offerings and all that, but we were seated there, right, throughout the entire hour, okay, with the pujas going on. And I remember after that, once I walk out from the temple, I really see this like wonderful and amazing sign. I feel that this temple is very, very welcoming, okay? I will see and like, how, okay, because somehow I was telling Gong Yu that this temple is definitely calling me, okay, but I'm not sure what special things I can arrange in the future for this temple itself, okay, fingers crossed, but I will do my best to arrange that. And once I step out of the temple, no photos are allowed in the temple, but once I step out, it was like really the feeling was like I'm walking into heaven. Because it was like so beautiful, and Jolson's also in a way managed to kind of give glimpse of that.
Yeah, I managed to catch that as well. It's like we are out of nowhere with beautiful lights. Yeah.
Sun, lights, rays. Yeah, okay, and it was like, wow, I quickly tried to snap some photo lah, but those photos is like, it just doesn't really give that moment, okay, which I've experienced itself. Yeah.
Magical moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole experience is, it's so interesting. I mean, I was still digesting different parts of it. Of course, within all of these experiences, I think we each also have our own personal experiences and lessons behind them. So for me, it was definitely the case. But what I found very astonishing about it was what Jessie had mentioned is that, first of all, the temple was closed yesterday when we first visited. And then somehow when we spoke to the monk, right, that was actually in charge of, he was like a guardian, right?
Yeah,
he was like
at the security gate.
Security booth alongside the China police personnel. And then he was just very inviting.
Yes.
He asked where we were from at the end of our conversation, that he had already allowed us to visit the temple yesterday, even though it was closed. At the same time, of course, later on also invited us to the puja, which was today. And it was just very inviting. And only at the end, he asked us where we were from, and we said we were from Malaysia.
Yeah.
But it's very heartwarming and very welcoming.
Yes. I'm not sure whether it was like having bald heads helps. I'm not sure.
Perhaps.
I seriously am not sure, but all these things, as you say, the word, I like it, inviting.
Yeah.
Right, the temple is just so inviting. There's a lot of things happens as in like, in a way, it's like waiting for us. Yeah. And yeah, I also want to share, it's like Gong Yu has put it, everything looks rosy, everything looks nice, right? Okay. Probably some of you have been following Nicole's IG or Instagram, she shared very beautiful photos and all that. And occasionally I will also share some stories, okay, if I remember them. But I just want to share with everyone, right? Okay. I mean, the whole journey itself is not easy. Okay, like Joseph has put it, right? Like every day, that we are actually struggling to breathe. Like even early this morning itself, right? And every night, I mean, the daytime I was excited. I was exploring places. It was so tiring. There were a lot of steps. Okay, there's a lot of climbings. All right, it was very, very tiring, and we are literally grasping for breath. And of course, us being us, we are also quite stubborn in a sense. We refuse to take high altitude sickness pills, right? Because we were told that those pills itself, once you started taking it, you have to take it every single day, right? And it's something that hopefully we pray, okay, that we do not need it, right? And then also we refuse to take oxygens.
Not yet lah. I don't
Not
think
yet.
so.
Not yet. But I guess eventually, because this is only the beginning point, right? And we will be climbing higher and higher. We will be heading towards the Mount Everest base camp, all right, in a matter of like 2 days or so. And then we are just ascending higher and higher. This is only the beginning, all right? And here the beginning is about like 3,600 plus, okay, meter. And we will go up to 4,000 plus, and then eventually at Mount Kailash it will be 5,000 plus, right? Yeah, okay, so we just, fingers crossed, okay, prayers be with us, and we just want to share this experience with you. Right, throughout the journey itself, it was never that easy. Okay, it was tough, it was tiring, and every steps that we climbed those steps and hills, okay, we were like chanting throughout.
Yeah, I was like chanting inside, on my way back me home, just to make it through to the steps. What seems to be something very easy for us to do, but for us now to climb like a 20 steps or so, you feel like you need to grab a lot of air, and then you need to wait for a while, so that you recuperate first, then only you continue on the journey to climb the next phase of the steps.
Yeah. All right. So the challenge and the lessons learned together with it. I'm so blessed. We have a very good guide. And we got to learn, of course, like much deeper into, of course, the Buddhism science of things, or different deities, protectors, and all that. And I realized that I'm very, very blessed, because at the end of the day, a lot of all these stories matches, right? I'm sure he's also very, very excited of like some of the points as well. And also another thing is like, I felt that there's a lot of lessons that I actually personally, in a way, realized, okay, from this few days. Actually, we've been here like, this is only the third day officially, right? Yeah, in Lhasa itself.
Seems like a week already.
Yes. It felt so long, okay, but I realized that all these learnings itself, it is deep. I have a lot of realizations, not only from the Buddhism perspective, but generally from an overall perspective, okay? In terms of energy, in terms of like soul's journey, in terms of like energy works as well, right? And that's very, very beautiful. Yeah.
And also, I mean, like I was saying, I love it. There's so many levels to it, and one level is definitely personal, right?
Yeah.
What we each personally have to be tested on, and it's different from person to person, from Joston to Jessie, myself, and even that. Sometimes you think you may have something covered, or something is okay, but the very moment you think that everything's okay, I think I'm good, I'm all right. The test
Then
will
the
come
test will come.
pretty much the next moment.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's been generally a very interesting experience, very exciting and very welcoming as well. I think particularly for Jessie and myself, there's some parts of it that feel familiar.
Yeah.
And we went through a phase that we were studying and also doing some Tibetan Buddhist practices
Yes.
together in our early part of our friendship and also relationship. And so many of that has come alive. Right? This is my first time in Tibet. So that's why, for me, a lot of it, some of it, okay, I don't want to overstate, some of it feels so familiar and warm. Right? So it's a very nice feeling. And yet, when we have that feeling of like confidence, for example, everything's taken care of, I think we've got this. The very next moment, we get tested that actually no. Okay?
Yep, exactly.
There's still more to
like,
be done.
You think you got this? It's like, somehow I always find that Guan Yin Ma is always like playing a prank on us. Like every time that we thought that, wait a minute, I've got this, I've learned this, I've mastered this, and the next thing is the challenge will come. So throughout the journey itself, there's a lot of realizations, there's a lot of learning, and I really, really, in a way, very, very grateful. Amidst all the surface that we see, everything that's going on is like the society, the people here, the Tibetans, the Chinese, okay, including the tourists itself, there is a much deeper layer of learning and understanding behind what we see on the surface level of everyday life, okay, which is like the things that's going on right here, okay, in the heart of Lhasa as well. Justin, anything from your side that you want to share?
I just want to add on also, even this morning, right, like Jessie mentions about the magical moment of like seeing through the lights, those moments is something like just in a matter of few seconds, if you really miss it, you miss it. But somehow, we are destined. We are able to really see it with our own eyes of this, magical moment of able to see through the lights.
Yeah. And I look into the cloud, and Gong Yu was telling me that I see something like a horse legs or something like that, but I'm not sure what image is that. And then straight away I asked Gong, he's like, do you see anything from the cloud? He says like, wind horse. It's Long Ta. It's wind. Yeah, straight away he says wind horse, and then you have to like Google, okay, the image of a wind horse. Is like, wow, okay. I mean, it's like quite amazing. And there was another photo I also shared on my Facebook post also. I somehow see, it's like, try to take a look at it and see what do you see. I mean, you don't have to purposely see something. I mean, sometimes it's like, it's okay if you totally see nothing, okay? And so what if you can really see something out of it? I mean, but to me, it's just like, it's a sign of blessings. To me, it's like the universe are communicating with us every single moment, all right? It doesn't mean that we are extra special or extra magical when we see things like this, okay? But it's just that when we see certain things that remind us of certain symbols, I would really want to quickly look up for it. Example is like during the previous singing bowl, okay, rimming and grounding work, okay, we were in Penang, and remember we see a cricket. It is something odd. It's not something that you see all the time, and straight away I will just Google about it because there's a message there. There's a lesson there, okay. So of course, Yeah, okay, and of course, like for this particular case itself in the clouds, I want to see what it is. And the second image I saw something like a face of a lion face, okay? It looks like a lioness. It's like a woman together with a face of a white lion, right? I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, there's no white lion or snow lion here, right? Oh, it is, but it's a male, right? Snow lion. But this one is like, to me, right? I felt that it looks very much like a female, okay? It's like a lioness, but it really, in a way, like looks like a snow lioness, okay, to me. Right? Probably that is something that I want to, in a way, search on because there could be a message for me to learn. And now that suddenly, just now I talked about the cricket, right? Okay, it just struck my head because I remember when I was looking into cricket, black cricket itself, right? One of their website was saying that black cricket, of course, is good and all that, but it also means that a potential of death. Okay, I remember reading that, okay, in the first place, okay, and now that when I just mentioned about it, it just popped back into my mind, right? Seeing that cricket at that moment, and of course, like some of you might know, right? Okay, of course, our beloved Yipo, which I prayed for her, okay, in the temples, as just now also with Amitayas, you know, even his long life, but I don't know why, I just want to pray to her, to bring her into, of course, I would say smooth, okay, path and smooth journey. Yeah, it's getting. Someone take over the mic, please.
All right. I take this moment to say hi. Yeah, to say hi to the rest of everyone. Okay, so hi to Sel Chiu, Andrew Teo, Angel Tan, and then to Jen Ho. And Jen Ho was saying grateful for the special amulet blessings.
Yeah, Elaine as
And
well.
Elaine also, thank you for the blessings.
Yeah, and then just to complete what Jessie was saying, so her beloved Ayi, which I also call as my Ayi, right? So she had passed away right before the weekend, in fact, right? Before we left for our trip, before we were due to depart to Nepal. Yeah. Shall we switch? Okay. And now I want to actually, in case you have not seen our email blast, right? I want to switch topics a little bit and introduce you to a program that is happening in Malaysia. So back to our normal scheduling. I know we've been very excited about this upcoming June 21st full moon overlapping with summer solstice and of course the very powerful Dragon Departing Day. We've spoken a lot about it. Those of you who put in your wishes, those will be part of the ritual and the prayers that we'll be doing when we get to Mount Kailash. But going back to home, okay, and back to more of somewhat regular programming, right? So maybe Jostin, right, or you want to introduce what's going to be happening on July 6th, our first ever?
First ever, yes. We are all excited about our first ever sound bath on the water. It's gonna happen on the 6th of July at 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So it's gonna be held in Kinara Golf Club at the swimming pool there. Why? Is so exciting about this event is that first ever we're going to do our sound bath where you are invited to be floating on top of a float where you'll be having more experience of a vibrational experience of the sound being transferred through the water. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to officially announce that, okay, today because we have just launched it, okay, after the closing of the amulets and wishes for Mount Kailash. We have just launched this sound bath experience, okay, on the water itself. So we have limited slots, okay, and I know there is actually quite a number of you who have already signed up. So if you are in Klang Valley, I highly recommend you to try this session out with us, where, you will be lying floating on top of the water itself, where you will be bathed, okay, with the vibrations of all the different elements, okay, of the sound, okay, to go through you. So if you are available on the 6th of July, okay, do join us on this particular special experiential workshop itself.
You'll be lying down on top of a float, so don't worry about getting wet. So the experience itself will be very pleasant, and then we will also provide like eye mask and so forth so that the journey is more comfortable and even more engaging the experience.
That's right. Yeah. And just to remind you, so I think it was special. The date was specially selected.
Remove day.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a remove day and it closes up the current Metal Horse month. It's the last day of the Metal Horse month, but yet it's also the new moon that kicks off, of course, the new lunar cycle. And then, of course, immediately following that, the next day is the first day of the solar month, which is the Metal Goat. right? So it's a great way to release and let go, so that you can start afresh, and also renewed for the new month ahead, after the event that is held on the last day of the previous solar Chinese month.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. It's like so many things to remember, right? Right. I find it's like a bit difficult, okay, to remember all of them. Right. That's the purpose. We have a team here. Okay. Everyone have different strength. And I say, speaking of which, I talk about prayers and all that. I just want to continue. Of course, here I will continue on to pray for our beloved Yipo, okay, for her smooth transition right into her afterlife and all that. I just saw a news which is also very heart wrenching for me, okay, about the Chatuchak pet market, okay, which caught fire. Somehow I just browsed through, and unfortunately, you know, like pets nowadays plays a very important part of our life between Kong Yu and myself, and of course Nicole and my family as well. So we saw that there are, in a way, sacrifices of like over 1,000 lives, okay, at this Chatuchak pet market. And I would just want to say that we will continue, and I will definitely continue to actually pray for all the souls for a swift ascension. All right, I'm very, very sure, okay, for all this soul itself, okay, they deserve a swift ascension in this special moment or period, okay, in life itself. So I just do hope, okay, as we are going through this journey of ours, right, we will try to update, okay, from time to time. All right, tomorrow we'll be moving out of Lhasa. We will see how is the line. If the line is good, we will continue to update via Facebook Live. Now, I just want all of you, if you have purchased the amulets, okay, you have like make wishes, all right, if possible, try to, in a way, reinstate your wishes every single day. Because every single day that now that in China, we are going through the same time zone, all right, so we are going through different temples, and in this journey, 15 days, we only selected all either sacred locations, temples, okay, like our old kingdoms, or including, like, of course, the powerful base of Mount Kailash and also Mount Everest base camp as well. All right, we will only choose like powerful locations, and as every moment as we journey through these locations itself, okay, with us there will be the amulets, okay, and also in our thoughts itself is all the people, okay, who have made these wishes before we finally, in a way, read out all the wishes at Mount Kailash. So I really hope that all of you at least reaffirm, okay, right, take whatever that you in a way write down, okay, in your wishes itself, like a mantra for yourself, all right, reinstate it every day. Now, if possible, do ask yourself one thing. I mean, like, you see, I throw out this, in a way, service for all of you, because I want to, in a way, make use of all this energy itself to help elevate, to make things expedite, to make it easier for us to do manifestations. But you know that by just paying the money, getting an amulet, and sitting around doing nothing, it's not going to transform your life. Neither will it make your wishes come true. Right, you need to work on it. If you really wanted something, I see a lot of you that wanted good health and blessings. Some of you has very specific goals into your career and your business. Okay, you have a specific goals in terms of like how many percents you want to make. Okay, right, in this particular years, okay, itself. Now, it is very good if you have a specific goal, but at the same time, remember every day itself, try to reflect within yourself. How are you willing to work on whatever it takes to get to where you want to be? All right, you want to have good health. I mean, in a way, I mean, everyone wants to have good health, but what are we contributing to it? I mean, for me, right, okay, I will never ask for good health for myself, because I know if I ask it, Guan Yima will just give me a tight slap on my face, okay? Because if you want good health, you just have to, in a way, act as someone that wanted good health. All right, you have to be cautious into the things that you are putting into your body. Okay, I mean, it's as simple as that. All right, but you know me being stubborn. Okay, I have my own, in a way, path, and I realize that I have my own, in a way, breaking through and understanding. There's something that I need to learn within myself. Okay, for fully acceptance. That's why, in a way, I will never ask for good health in whatever that I pray for. Right, so whatever that you pray for, remember, ask yourself, what can you do about it? Because it's just very easy to pay that $50 or $98, okay, to get something and to get an assurance to feel good that, yeah, okay, my wishes will come true because someone is helping me to, in a way, manifest this at a very powerful place, okay? But we can only do so much if everyone and each and every one of us are doing our best to also try to elevate ourselves energetically as well. So I really hope those of you who have engaged for this service itself, remember your daily mantra from today onwards until we completed the whole entire journey, right? Reinstate your wishes and then add on a further questions as in like, how am I making this possible? Or at least how you should ask yourself is like, why is this wish impossible right now? Why you are not achieving this wish right now? Why are you not achieving the healthiest and the happiest relationship, okay, that you wish for? How come you are not achieving the most fulfilling career or the most rewarding career or business that you are in a way like involving yourself in right now? So where is that issue? Try to find it out, because ultimately if we find the root cause of a problem, that's when we can actually make the ultimate transformation. Okay? Alright, so yeah, I will leave the final words, okay, to either Kong Yu or Josen, right? And I should ensure final words because they always complain, right? I will say final, and yet I won't final one. Okay, so don't pass me back the mic after this. Right?
Yours can go over there for now.
Okay, just let me add on, on what Jessie said, I mean, basically, in order to get the blessings, the things that you wanted to achieve, I always advise people to be the person that you want to be, so that you do all the things to be that person, and eventually you can have what you want to be. Have everything that you want to be. So always start with be that person, do everything that you can to be that person, and eventually you can have the things that you want. Alright, so let's go for be, do, have. Alright, that will be my final part. Kong Yu, over to you.
Well said there. So I'm not going to add on any further, but just a quick reminder here, okay? In case you want to check out a new complete experience where we're going to be doing the sound bath over water at a pool, right? So that sense of weightlessness when you're floating in the pool is going to give you a very different vibrational experience. So that's happening on the new moon on the last day of the Metal Horse Month, July the 6th. More details, of course, in the link. If you have not checked out the link, check it out, please.
And stay tuned.
That's right, and stay tuned. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
bye.
That's all from all of us, Lhasa, Tibet. Yes. Bye-bye.